remember that too because I remember you called me and you were like, "Hey, do you have any idea how to build a loft?"
I had no idea
And
what I was
then
doing.
I was like, "What?" And you were like, "Yeah, Casey wants me to build a loft in 206, and I don't know how to do this." And I was like, "Me neither, man." And then we just started like kind of walking through it. I was like, "All right, if anything, we should build the frame out,
Dude, and it just
and then like start building through the middle." And it's just, I just remember going through it and how amateur we were. And Casey's just like, "Yeah, just make sure it's good."
yeah, he was just like, as long as it holds up. Basically.
That,
I mean, he would come in and inspect it and like make sure that I wasn't like,
yeah, of course.
doing anything stupid.
I remember the frame of that loft is held up to the wall with toggle bolts.
I mean, it's structurally probably not the most sound thing.
No, dude, but it's still there.
But
There's
well, you know, I didn't just use like one toggle bolt.
no.
Like,
There's like a bunch of toggle bolts in
like,
each.
There's a lot.
Yes, there is. There's a lot. And each toggle bolt holds up what, like 200 pounder?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
and
man.
there's, I mean, the thing kind of supports itself.
Exactly. I remember Casey was getting tons of shit
Dude,
on the YouTube video.
The comments on one of the videos is terrible. There's
Like-
like thousands of these just horrible comments, just saying like how I didn't know what I was doing, all this stuff. And I remember reading through some of them, and I was like, "Screw you guys! This is a great loft."
No, I remember. I think you were telling me like when you were finished, Casey was like just goes up there. He always does this shit. He's like, "Oh, let me test something."
Oh,
And he just goes up there and just starts like stomping and like,
stop it! He's like jumping on it, like he is trying to bring it down.
yes,
Uh,
yes, like on top
And,
of this loft that
like,
you just finished.
unflinchingly, unapologetically, just like
Yep.
he does not like his own welfare. He's like, I don't care. Like, I want to make sure this thing is sturdy.
Yeah,
And
man.
in my mind, like I had stood up on it earlier, and I was like, I don't know if this is safe. Like, I was like nervous about it. And then he just like climbs up there, and he's like stomping on it, like jumping up and
Yes.
down. And I was like, I remember my heart went in my throat. And then he got down. He's like, okay, seems good.
And then just leaves.
And I was like, whew. Like, I still get nervous about that loft. I'm like waiting for it to come tumbling down with Patrick underneath.
Fuck.
And
So real, it is.
And Casey was just jumping on it, and he's like, I remember he made some statement like, short of a Mack truck driving into it, we're good. And I was like, oh my god, this is gonna fall over. But it was fine. Like, it's still
Exactly.
It's still there. It's been
Yep.
been like a year and a half, and it's great.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a tough project.
Hell yeah, dude. You completely built that out. You
Yeah.
built out that whole.
By my lonesome.
Exactly.
I had no one to no support.
Damn, Dylan. I was your support,
You
bro.
were
What
like
do you
my
mean?
moral support. No, I mean, you helped, but there were
Of
many days that I'd
course.
be there like on a Saturday,
No,
and I
of
was like trying to
course, of
lift
course,
things
of
up, and
course.
then
Yeah.
trying to lift like a 4x8,
Jesus Christ.
and then toggle bolt it into the wall by yourself.
Oh,
was
dude,
like,
that's a nightmare.
it's a nightmare. You know it all too well.
Of course. Just you saying like you did it all by your lonesome. I'm like, I get flashbacks of
Being alone.
renovating 201, completely renovating 201 by myself,
By yourself.
building everything out. I just remember like the toughest thing I did in 201 was on Casey's monitor wall.
Yeah.
So behind that, there's 3 full sheets of plywood against that wall.
Oh yeah.
So I put up from the floor. So sheets of plywood are 4x8.
Yeah.
So from the floor, 4 feet up, I just put that up. Second one, I'm lifting up by myself a whole sheet of 4x8
Yeah.
by myself, put up on the wall, drill that shit into the studs. So now that's an 8-foot tall wall. The third one, I get on that extending telescoping ladder,
It's so sketchy.
lean it on the wall, carry a 4x8 on that ladder by myself, put it up on the wall, and just drill that shit into studs.
Oh yeah.
And then when you were just saying by your lonesome, just get flashback.
You know, though, and I say it kind of like in this like joking manner or kind of concerned manner, but really it's like one of the greatest things that I've done, because
Yes.
one thing that Casey taught me in that moment, and even as like I was like, I mean, I'm like 30 at this point, right? And it was really good because he just like, it taught me a lot about the city, how to get things done.
Yep.
And just basically like, he didn't care. Just figure it out.
Yep.
And just figure it out, get it done. And it was like a really good learning experience for me. And
You'd be surprised what you can do.
yeah, very literally. And
You'd be really surprised, man, because you'll doubt yourself. You'd be like, "There's no way I could get this done."
And that's why now I think I've kind of evolved this attitude where people, you know, like your whole make time, right?
Yeah.
Figure it out and make time.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Stop making excuses.
Stop making excuses for shit.
Please. Stop complaining.
And I learned a lot from Casey in that regard of
Yep.
like always following through,
Yeah.
always completing a task. Even if you don't complete the task correctly, complete it.
Yeah.
Like it's better to complete something than to leave it half done.
Dude. That's a lot of people always just give up, I feel like.
Yeah, they don't complete anything.
And then they just leave things undone and they just kind of like shrug it off, brush it under the carpet.
And so that had like a profound effect on my life in a sense of like, yeah, you have to follow through with everything you're going to do. And like in the little, and like even like in the smallest context, right? Like if you're going to say you're going to do something, you got to do something. Like, or you just got to be there. You got to figure it out. You got to make time.
Yeah, man. No, seriously.
And yeah, it was a good experience.